Hey family, what is up and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Consolata Capu and I'm so excited to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about the subject of stewardship. I'm sure many of us have actually heard so much about stewardship this, stewardship that, and we actually do not know what exactly constitutes or makes a good steward, or what is a steward in the very first place. So a steward, according to the dictionary version, to be a steward or to steward is actually a verb. It's a doing word, which means you are actively partaking of something. And to be a steward or to steward is to manage or look after another person's property. So note that it is not your property, but it's somebody else's property that you're looking after. Luke chapter 16 from verse 1 to 2. He, referring to Jesus, also said to his disciples, there was a certain man who had a steward, and an accusation was brought to him that this man was wasting his goods. So he called him and said to him, what is this that I hear about you? Give an account of your stewardship, for you can no longer be my steward. What is very fascinating is that when this rich man left his goods, his property, he traveled probably to a faraway country, trusting that his steward, whom he had left in charge of his property, was doing his work so well. And we can take it in the context that we are the stewards and God is the one that's entrusting us with different things, such as our gifts, the gifts that he has given to us, that we may be able to use them for the purpose of growing his kingdom, for a kingdom mandate, to grow the kingdom, to depopulate hell. There are so many gifts that God has given us. And I'm just wondering, how are we actually using those gifts? How are we stewarding the gifts that God has given us? And now this rich man, the New Living Translation actually says he heard rumors, which means that he was not actively involved in the day-to-day running of this particular property or this business. He had trusted that Consolata is going to run this well. He trusted that Natasha is going to run this well. He trusted that Nancy is going to run this well, even without my direct supervision. And that's just how much God gives us the ability to walk in purpose, to steward everything that he has given us. And usually when we think of stewardship, we think of just gifts or maybe money, but stewardship, when we begin to understand it from a deeper level, we understand that stewardship is everything that we have, that we think is ours, but is actually borrowed from God. All that we have, we're simply managing what is God's. It's not actually ours. We are managing our finances, the finances that God has given us. And if we're not also faithful with those finances, just like this rich man says, he says, now give an account of your stewardship, for you can no longer be a steward. When we are unfaithful, when we are unjust with everything that God has entrusted us, he actually does have the ability to take it back. But that's not the message that I'm preaching today. Today I'm just saying, let us steward well everything that God has given us. And when we understand and when we get the revelation that even our children, we are called to steward even our children. They are not ours. The reason why I say this is because when you really, really think of it, you can have a child today and tomorrow not have a child. You can have a parent today and not have a parent tomorrow. You can have a job today and not have a job tomorrow. So this shows us the extent of how deep our stewardship should be. And also it helps us to operate from a place of gratitude, knowing that we don't own anything and God has the ability to give and to take. You can have a job today. You can not have a job tomorrow. You can literally be fired via a text, like anything can happen. So whatever God has placed into our hands, we're supposed to use it wisely, use it for the growth of his kingdom, to make a positive impact in whatever we do. Think of the fact that even our bodies are not ours. Our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. And we understand that we were created by God. He knit us together perfectly, thought, piece by piece, cell by cell. Let me make Consolata's DNA different in this and this way. In that very same way, you can literally just develop a cancerous growth on your leg and you have to be amputated the next day. So while you have your leg, while you have your voice, use it to sing for the glory of God, or to speak the wisdom of God, to prophesy, use your spiritual gifts, use your enabling gifts, use your root gifts, use every single gift that you've got to glorify God. While you have your hands, serve God. While you have your legs, walk for God, do evangelism, do something for the growth of the kingdom. So this is my message today. And what I love, even when we read the parable of the talents, where a rich man was going away, right? He gives 5 talents to one steward, 2 to another, and 1 to another. So that's 3 of them. And the one who had 5 multiplied them and gave 5 more as profit. One who had 2 also got 2, but one who had 1 buried it in the ground. And when the master came back, he was so mad. Like, you know what? If I had actually invested this in a bank, it should have gotten interest just from being in the bank. But I trusted you enough. I trusted you to multiply it. I trusted you to make this grow. I trusted you to make an impact with everything that I've given you. And that's the same stance that we're taking today. It's stance of submission, that Lord, I thank you for what you've entrusted me with, and I want to use it for the betterment of other people's lives, for the growth of the kingdom. So whatever you have, your legs, your feet, your eyes, these eyes that you have, the voice that you have, the hair that you have, everything that you have, your family, your job, everything, steward it so well that God may surely increase you. Because in both of these parables, we understand that to whom much is given, to whom much is also required. From them is much also required. So it's important that you ensure that, you bring profits to God, you bring profits to the kingdom, and understand that we actually own nothing, but everything that we have belongs to God. And when we walk in that understanding, we walk in humility, knowing that it is God who owns our lives, for it is in Him that we live and move and have our being. So we steward everything from a point of knowing, God, use me as you will. How best can I steward this gift in this season? How best can I grow this gift in this season? How best can I develop my skills? How best can I perfect my craft and hone my skill so that I may cause growth and increase in your kingdom? This is the message. How are you being a good steward? Remember to steward well your relationships, your finances, your marriage, your job, your children, your friendships, everything that you've got. Steward it with all your might as you are doing it unto the Lord, knowing that God is the owner of everything. We are only just stewards. We are actively partaking and participating in stewardship. Humility of knowing that we actually own nothing, but everything that we are, our very substance, our very core, every cell of our body, our mind, every idea is not ours. Even the way that you steward an idea that God has given you is so important. Remembering that it is God's, it's not actually yours. That idea actually belongs to God. And when you steward it well, there will be profit, there will be increase. And you and generations that are coming afterwards will actually also benefit from that. We can take a look at David and Jonathan. Those guys stewarded their relationship well. And when Jonathan died, many years later, because of the way they stewarded their relationship, many years later, David is out there in the palace doing the king thing. He just remembers, you know what, that was a good friendship. Let me try and look for a descendant of Saul or of Jonathan, and let me be a blessing to him. And they actually find Mephibosheth, who is Jonathan's son. And from that point onward, Mephibosheth becomes a beneficiary of the stewardship of his father's friendship to David, as he now begins to live in the palace. And even the people that had worked for his grandfather Saul also benefited from that, because now they were also given land to grow fruit, to plant, to harvest from that land. So everyone got to benefit. That's how much profit, that's how much increase can come out of good stewardship of everything that God has given us and entrusted us with. So thank you so much, guys. Until the next video, love you so much. Bye.